I've helped you get to the bottom of the list. And as I pointed out, this is a doable list, right? You could have worked this out on your own with a little more time, okay? We have taken care of this. We've taken care of this to an extent. We've written down the products, okay? But I gave you a clue before that now when you have a look through, you actually can eliminate a significant number of these solutions, right? How many can you eliminate? Well, for example, is this actually a possibility for the ages? The answer is no, because if this were true, and they both looked at the door, and the guy who's guessing looked all the ages, it'd say, oh, I have enough information at this point, right? Does that make sense? So this is no longer really an option. This one here, this is interesting. Jasmine was the one who was writing down the other one. Look, do you see? This is a contender. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Because at this point, oh, I don't know. I need more information. So I'm going to put a mark there. Oops. Now I want you to look down the rest of the list. Are there more contenders?
No.
There are not. In fact, these two are the only that we really need to worry about. This one, and where'd you go? Here it is. This one. Okay, so we dissected, we explored, and we've eliminated a lot too. But there's one more thing that's left, because we've only used 2 of our 3 pieces of information. Okay. Now, which one is it, and why? Anyone want to suggest? What do you reckon, Justin?
It's the last one, because that's been the oldest one.
2, 2, and 9. This has to be the solution. We can eliminate this one, because in fact, and I did a classical thing that a magician does. I've talked about magicians before, which is misdirection. In the third clue, has nothing to do with a violin, does it? Go look at the wording again. What does the professor actually say? He says the eldest. The eldest. Now, one of the reasons why we use the word the, right? It's like, are you a Gary Johnson or are you the Gary Johnson? It's like, there is only one. Which means, when you have a look at this one, there is not a the eldest. There is no the eldest, there's only, well, there's a pair of twins, right? This is the only one which actually has, out of our final contenders, one which has the eldest person, and they're the violinist. Does that make sense? Okay, we're almost finished. We have an answer, but I said we have to do 3 things. We've got to dissect the question, we did that. We've got to explore and eliminate the options that result once we have all the information. But we need to do this. Did you remember I snuck a piece of paper onto your desk? It's face down. You might like to pick it up, turn it over. And I really, really hope you've heard of this before, but you may not have. In maths, there's topics. Topics like algebra, trigonometry, measurement, etc., right? But each of the topics has a common thread through it. In fact, there's 5, right? These 5 things, these 5 skills, you develop and you do them over and over again. Just like these 3 things here are problem-solving approaches you can use no matter what kind of question you get, okay? The one I want to emphasize is the one at the top. I mean, this is all useful stuff. It's out of the syllabus, I should point out. But the one at the top is the one I want to emphasize because it's the final one. Communicating. Students develop the ability to use a variety of representations in written, oral, or graphical form to formulate and express mathematical ideas. I'm going to let you read the rest of that yourself. Okay? Have we done that so far? I think we have, right? Do you see it? This is it's a written / graphical way to express a set of mathematical ideas, right? We're almost there though. We don't quite have a solution. The last thing we need to do is communicate, like from the board. I think it's clear what the sets of 3 numbers are. I think it's clear what this is. But from the board, if you submitted this to me on a piece of paper, I don't really know why you've chosen this one versus this one, right? This one over this one. So we need to express this. I'm going to give you maybe 30 seconds to think about how would you argue, how would you present some words that explain, articulate why you chose this age, why this has to be the solution, and not this one. Can you take a minute to write something down? And then I'll compare and see what you've got for me. I wonder if that was enough time to write a sentence. let me stall just a teeny bit longer for you by showing you how I'm not just answering the question I've asked you to do, but I've also explained what this is about. There were 3 sections of information when I dissected. First, I just did all the ages. And this table shows all the ages that add to 13. That's why I was doing this. But then secondly, I could further narrow it down to either this set or this set because they're the only 2 which have non-unique products. They're the reason why the person said, I still need more information, right? So I'm explaining why I chose these 2. Lastly, would someone like to suggest for me what they wrote down for how you knew it was that one, not that one? Can anyone read their words for us? Any volunteers? Yeah, Chloe, go ahead.
Since the former student states that there is an eldest one, this means that it can't be 1, 6, and 6 as there is no eldest in that answer.
Perfect. Thank you, Chloe. So, in case you didn't catch that, right, I think the key phrases were, since there is one eldest child, right? That's the thing that sort of pins you into this one and eliminates this as a possibility, right? Full stop. So, well done.